So I want to make a couple more of my blinkers, which are just like a solar panel, some super caps, and a circuit that blinks out a Morse code message. I'll put a link in the video description if you want to know more. So this one's cast in epoxy resin, and I want to make a slightly prettier cast. So this one's got like different edges on it, and it's got multiple layers you can see from each of the casting steps. So I'd like to do it all in one pass, or maybe in two passes, one to set it up off the bottom, then plonk the electronics in, and then do another pour to fill it all the way up. So to that end, I tried to make a silicone mould to make it look nice. So I bought some of this stuff from AA Composites down the road. It's garbage. Like it's got, as you can see, it's not runny at all. They gave me a little bottle of stuff to mix with it to thin it up a little bit to make it pour a bit more easily. Didn't work at all. Started to set almost immediately. It was an absolute nightmare, and this was the result. I mean, it's quite strong. It's probably the strongest one I've made, but obviously it's not suitable for casting anything. It's a total waste of time. So I'm very disappointed. I hope I just got a bad batch or something and they'll give me a refund, because that bucket was $50 plus the catalyst and the thinning agent. So quite sad with that, but I went to Bunnings and bought a $8 tube of silicone and had a crack at making my own mould. So this is the first pass at that. It's reasonably rigid, surface quality is not terrible. So I just splooged the entire tube out into a bucket of water, squished it with my hands to sort of kick off the setting process, and then squished it into this laser cut plywood box you see here, or an earlier version of this, and then yeah, tried to make a mold that way, and it kind of worked. So the positive shape for these two things that I was using was this block of wood in here. Oh, hello Sammy, I'm talking to the video. So this is just a piece of pine that I've rounded all the edges over, puttied up all the cracks, painted, and then sanded and painted and sanded and painted and sanded. So this one here is my latest iteration, which came out really, really nice. So the bottom is a bit thin. It's only about, I don't know, 2 or 3 mil thin, which is too thin for comfort. But I made this one by putting a couple of drops of glycerol in the water, and then plooping out all of the silicone into that, doing the squish, 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 and then I squashed it into the mold, and then crammed this down in over the top, and then sort of finessed the edges of the silicone over the top, and flattened it down, and stood on it with this block of wood to sort of squish it all in there and get a nice fit. Hold on, Sammy, don't touch the alive spider. So this came out reasonably well. I'm pretty happy with this. I can just sort of tuck this back into that mold there to give it a bit of structure, and then I can cast some electronics with this, which I'm pretty happy about. Not happy about spending $50 on this useless resin. They've been ignoring my emails, so actually this was the useless one. They've been ignoring my emails, which is sad, but hopefully eventually they'll either tell me what I did wrong with the process or give me a refund. So I might make a couple more of these. I mean, this is $8 worth of silicone and a few cents worth of glycerin, so I could make a few more of these, so I can produce them a little bit more, like in a couple of batches at once. The resin I'm planning to use is a 2-part epoxy resin. So this one was the ultra clear, I think it was, resin. But as you can see, it's kind of started to go yellow. This has been sitting out in the sun for about 8 months now. So the UV is starting to turn it yellow, which is fine. I mean, it still does the job, still protects the stuff. But yeah, this one was done in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pours, and each one of those pours, there's like basically a day of waiting between each pour. So if I could do one to set it up off the bottom, and then plop the electronics in and then bloop all the way up to the top, that'd be great. So that's what I'm up to. Okay, bye bye.